It's happening. The deer are walking by where we'll be having our dining room table.
Good morning.
Good morning. I get spoiled in the morning. Yalger makes me a coffee that he freshly grinds in the jackery. And then I get served coffee in bed. Hee hee. It was a really cold night yesterday, like minus 15-ish. And I forgot to take the water out of the car. And so it's still a little liquid, but most of it is frozen. Yay!
Good morning. Things are a bit of a mess in here, as you can see. And the first thing I'm going to do today together with Tanya is clear up some of the clutter so that we have a good clean up workspace and we can continue with the next project.
Find the deer. Someone's pretending to be a tree trunk. Hello. The snow is finally melting. The deer are very happy with that.
Hi everyone, it's been a few days since I made a video. I have been busy with planning all of the next steps in our cabin build, working on mapping out the electrical rough-in and the plumbing rough-in so that I get a good grip on how to solve the intersections of both and map everything out in the cabin. I did that with little tags and markings on the studs. And I'll also have to do some furring out of the bathroom wall. Initially I built this wall here behind me with 2x4s. Turns out for the plumbing it's actually going to be easier because it'll be a wet wall, and I was not fully up to date on that when I was framing the cabin. It's going to be easier to make it 2x6, so I'll just put some 2-inch furring strips on there and that will solve everything. And also have to put furring strips on the ceiling here where the joists are. I'll put 1x3s that are perpendicular to all the joists, making the drywalling and the electrical rough-in a lot easier. So today I'm going to start by installing the pocket door right here for the bathroom. And then next we'll be doing all of my framing work. I also have to build a wall upstairs where there's going to be some electrical rough-in in. And after that I can get started on the electrical and plumbing rough-in. pocket door is installed. Everything is sturdy, plumb and level. I'm very happy with the result. We'll have to go shop for a door, but that's not for right now, and then we can finish this. Most important thing was to get the framework in. That way we can do the drywalling after the plumbing and electrical rough-in is finished. Good morning. So yesterday I had planned on continuing with furring strips on the studs in the bathroom. That requires me to rip down some long boards I have, which I have to do outside. Unfortunately, even though it's mid-March, it's snowing again, which means I'll have to clear the driveway later today. And until then, I'm going to start on instead putting the furring strips right here on the ceiling. With 1x3 pieces of lumber, and that's another thing I have to do before I get started on electrical rough-in. Alright, let's get to it. So just a quick update. I have spent the last few hours figuring this whole thing out with the furring strips. I started with just using a laser level so I could get a good level on the future ceiling for the drywall. Turns out that I think because of the frost, we have some frost heave going. There was, I believe, between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch of difference on this top plate. So then I started with shimming everything out, but something fell off, and Tanya suggested that I check how the laser level reads on these window headers, because eventually that will be the part that we see the most. So if we have a huge difference here compared to the window in the front, that's what we'll see. And turns out we have way less of a difference here, so it must be a combination of the wood drying out and maybe some frost heave. But anyways, I solved it by just putting up a string line here and making sure that my furring strip follows exactly that string line, and that way I know we'll gradually even things out and I'll have a good surface to mount my drywall on. Well, I'm putting up some furring strips or scrapping on our ceiling because we worked with regular dimensional lumber instead of joists, just because it was easily available and a little cheaper. But for drywall on the ceiling, it's better to strap it so that we can even out the individual differences between the joists and have less cracking after installation of the drywall. It takes a little bit of work, and the contractor that I work with at Rona, the hardware store, he told me it's good to shim and level everything as much as possible so that you have less issues with the drywall having waves in it. So it takes me more work to do it, but the end result is very good, very satisfying. And yeah, so I am about halfway here and I'm going to continue until it's finished.
We're being watched.